Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier. And as you can see, it comes in the typical G.I. Joe Classified Series packaging with some cool artwork on the side. And the Iron Grenadier is 132 of the Classified Series. But let's go ahead and get the Iron Grenadier out of the box. Straight out of the package, you're going to notice your Iron Grenadier is not going to have his main helmet equipped. I love the fact that they made this a separate piece, but we got the sculpted on strapping that's painted. Has texture throughout the whole thing. We got the little ornament on the top of the helmet that's painted gold. A little bit sloppy gold there. But overall, it's a nice plastic. It's not rubbery. You know, it has some sturdiness to it. The Iron Grenadier doesn't come with alternate hands or any alternate heads, but he does come with a bunch of weapons. A lot of reuse, stuff we've seen before, but that's okay. We got this like futuristic revolver type of pistol. No portholes in it. Looks pretty cool. Like I said earlier, we're not going to be strangers to reuse. We get another one of these beauties that we've seen before, and the optic on this one always made me think it was backwards. But then again, it might be bigger, so, you know, you could see through it. I don't know, but the optic is a little bit off. But it's a futuristic Destro type of pistol. We got the gold paint accent on there, making it look really nice. But we got two pistols of futuristic looks, which makes sense. If they're Iron Grenadiers ran by Destro, you're going to have some like sci-fi type of technology. Stepping away from some of that sci-fi tech, we got an assault rifle with a red handle. These accents don't bother me too much, and the handle is not super loose like we've seen before. And of course, you know, the magazine comes out. But what I really dislike about this, I mean, you got the optics and everything. It looks like a really nice looking assault rifle. And then you're like, blam, it's got to be a double barrel. It's got double portholes, but come on. I'm just not a fan of this. I wish it was a single barrel. This would make it perfect. Maybe there's a reason why they couldn't do a single barrel, but that's really what's holding this one back. Here we get this beauty again, and I like this light machine gun. The saw looks pretty good. Sculpt work looks really good. The accent of red works with the bipod and the drum, and has the muzzle hole in the front, if you can see there. But this is a little bit out of whack, but it's going to move around probably because it is that, you can see it's softer plastic. It's not rubbery, but it is softer. Same with the barrel. The barrel, it's stiffer than normal, but you could easily get it out of whack. And what's cool about this, if you guys aren't familiar, the whole thing comes out. We got the bullets in there looking nice in gold. And then on top of that, you unpeg these little bipods and you can actually utilize it. The final weapon we get is a sword. The sword we've seen with the Crimson Guards looks great. It's got that leathery texture on it. Sculpt work. We got the gold accent at the bottom. Has little holes, I guess, from the mold. A peg, because this pegs into the side of the Iron Grenadier. And we got this awesome hilt painted nice in gold. The black gloss for the grip. Got the little Cobra snake with fangs at the end, and then this blade is entirely gold. Here we have an up-close look at the Iron Grenadier, and man, they put a lot of sculpt work into this mask. Nice, clean, nice paint work on it. As you can see, of course, I have him equipped with the helmet on. Just looks really, really nice. And then, of course, with the helmet off, that's how he comes in the package. He is pretty much like so. And I would think this would be like the hood or balaclava for the underlining of the helmet that he'd be wearing. Then this goggles would sort of pop onto the actual faceplate or mouth guard, because it's all like cybernetic and it wraps around his entire head. Almost like that's one piece, and this would be like the cap. And then underneath that would be obviously his hair and stuff like that. But looks awesome. A little bit of a paint mess up on the visor there. but nothing that's going to make me flip out and say I hate the product or hate the figure. But he has that Michelin tire looking neck. We do got a little logo there where it says Iron Grenadiers. The cavalry swords crossed. The back sash. And this is something that I really like too. Is you guys can see how they did like a gloss paint for the ribbed part. And then it's like the plastic for the other part. And I like that glossy and matte mixture. Makes him look all fancy. He's got gold rivets on his sash that wraps around. Gold and red up there. Then we wrap him around. And still the red and gold, but it goes to a skull, which is really cool. Then we got the buttons and rivets. Got trim that's in red. He's got medals on his collar that are gold, on his jacket. He's got a little red ruby on his tie. You know, if you guys, he works for Destro, so you're going to have some things that sort of have that connection. And they just did a great job with this figure. All the Michelin ribbed for her pleasure are glossy. Then we got the skull on the belt buckle, the trim in the red. And this is a separate, like, floating piece. It is a pliable-ish type of plastic, but looks awesome. Even the back of his elbows have that gloss. Sculpt work on the jacket sleeves. Got glossy gloves. Then we get into his crotch where he has the sculpted in pants, knees. Then we get in more of the glossiness with the boots, gold buckles. Just overall a really nice representation of Iron Grenadier. Let's go ahead and dive into some articulation with this guy, because I'm sure with his outfit you guys want to know his head can look up that far. You pretty much can get this up and down motion. You can do full 360 if you need to snap a neck. A little bit of attitude. You can do pretty much T-pose. We got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation. We get wrist bend in there as well. Get a butterfly that it's there, does something. Ugh. This guy's still tight, so yeah, it does something in the butterfly. And then of course he's got the clicky waist. You can lean forward that far, you can lean back. Pretty nice. It's got the hula hoop waist, so full 360 and all that stuff. He could do the splits that far. Probably could push it up if this rises up more. He's got the thigh cut up here. Double jointed knee. Boot cut where the boot's at. And we get ankle bend and pivot. Here we have the Iron Grenadier all geared up with all of his weapons. And, you know, you can have him with both his like assault rifle and the saw. Just to me, it's probably overkill. Probably do one or the other. But it's awesome that he can hold all of his gear. There's nothing that has to go into a drawer unless you need it to. Both pistols are equipped on these holsters that are on his lower belt and his little sash belt. And the sash does peg into the back of him like a backpack, so it holds it in place. And I really like how the handles, if I bring it in here a little bit closer for you, I like how the handles are in both directions. So he can reach for the upper one with his left hand, the lower one with his right hand. So he has access to firearms no matter what. Now it's time for some comparison. Here we have the Iron Grenadier amongst other classified series figures. And here we have the Iron Grenadier with some Action Force figures, so you can see how well they blend in with some of your Action Force figures. When it comes to the Iron Grenadier, I think Hasbro did a great job. I like this updated take on this character and this troop builder, and I really am enjoying the look of it. I love the matte and gloss mixture. I like how it still has that regalness to fit that Destro Iron Grenadier motif. So they aren't just like your basic troopers. Like, these guys have class. They're like Royal Guards. They're awesome. They just look awesome too. Like, I love the fact the helmets can come off. And they come with a bunch of guns and weapons. Sure, we've seen them before, but that's okay. Destro supplies Cobra with a lot of their weaponry. So, of course, we're going to get things that look similar and already used, you know? So, I can accept that reuse, but I really love the sculpt work and the paint work they put into these figures. The articulation isn't hindered by the skirt, which is great. And honestly, we got Metalhead. You know we're going to get a Iron Grenadier Destro with that gold head and a soft goods cape, because we've seen it with the Twilight Princess Crimson Guard. And I just can't wait, you know, just to keep building up the Iron Grenadiers. And I really hope that we get the heavy armored, heavy weaponry type of Iron Grenadier we've seen with the Pursuit of Cobra line. And if we get that, then it would be awesome to see that Moneybags Destro as well, because that was such a awesome Destro from the Pursuit of Cobra line. But I mean, could you imagine you have a couple of these guys on the ends, you have two of those heavy freaking Iron Grenadiers, and in the center they're escorting Destro. I mean, that would just be so freaking badass. Like, I can just visualize it right now. So I'm not disappointed with this figure at all. I think it is a great figure, great addition to your Cobra army, technically Iron Grenadier Destro's army, but it's great. I really enjoy it. It's fun, lots of paint, lots of sculpt. I mean, you can gripe about the weaponry, I guess, but I'm sure if you're collecting as long as I have, you have other weapons you can swap out, like the double barrel assault rifle. I just think it's a stupid idea, but it still works in hand. Like, I have him holding it. It's just, I wish they'd get rid of the double barrel on that. Other than that, like the future pistols and stuff like that, they were fine with me with this figure. But that sums up my unboxing and review of G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier. If you guys are liking my content, hit that like button. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel evolve and grow. Make sure you hit the silver bell notification so you know when I go live every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, for State of the Art, where we talk action figure and toy news. We talk about our recent pickups. We also have guests on from the industry, even independent creators, other toy tubers, toy photographers. I mean, honestly, we have a bunch of people on, and you guys should just tune in, 7:30, chat it up with us as we do interact with our chat. And most importantly, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting. Have a beautiful day.